Hello, beta. Good evening, everyone. Beta, welcome to the first class of optimization. Okay. In today's lecture, we will go ahead and we will talk about what is comparative statics. ठीक है बेटा, आज हम comparative statics की बात करेंगे. तो comparative statics chapter number 6 of AC Chiang है और इसमें what we are going to go ahead and do बेटा, we are going to go ahead and talk about what is a derivative. Derivative क्या होता है, rate of change क्या होता है, इन सब चीजों की हम बात करेंगे. ठीक है. तो बेसिकली ये बात समझनी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड that there is a difference between derivative and between differential calculus. These two things are not same. बहुत बच्चों को लगता है ये दोनों सेम है, राइट? तो इनमें क्या डिफरेंस है वो भी हम जानने की कोशिश करेंगे. सो बेटा प्लीज स्टार्ट बाय राइटिंग. आई वांट टू गो अहेड एंड आई वांट टू टॉक अबाउट द nature of comparative statics. So the first thing that we want to understand, what is comparative statics? ठीक है बेटा, we already know what is exogenous variable and endogenous variable. ये हमने chapter 2 में पढ़ा था. What is exogenous variable and what is endogenous variable, है ना बेटा? What is exogenous variable? What is determined outside the model. It is given to you, है ना बेटा? What is endogenous variable? Something which is within the model, जिसकी वैल्यू आपको निकालनी है, right? Just for example, let us go ahead and say that let's talk about I want to, I'm not sure if you have ever heard of Phillips curve. अभी तक Phillips curve तो हमने नहीं किया होगा. Let's say I have, let's say, the equation of the GDP. Y is equal to C plus I plus G plus NX. ठीक है बेटा? तो इसमें ये जितने भी वेरिएबल्स है ना, I, G, NX, इनकी वैल्यू आपको दी होती है. You're given these values. So if you're given these values, they are called as exogenous variables. And you have to find the value of Y. That is an endogenous variable. So what is determined within the model? Y is determined within the model. So Y is endogenous. And other things like C, I, G, NX, these bit are exogenous. Is this clear? One is endogenous, one is exogenous. Now, if I go ahead and I write an equation, just for example, let's say that but I have written that Y is f of x. What does this mean? It means Y is a function of x. Y is a function of x, right? Now, let us go ahead and let us try to first of all figure out what is the concept of change. Change का मतलब क्या होता है? Quotient का मतलब क्या होता है? I want to go ahead and I want to figure out that. In order to go ahead and figure out that, let's say that there is a variable x, the same variable x, and let's say that its initial value that is given to you as x naught, right? And I am saying that its final value, that is given to you as x1. So you have two values given to you, initial value and the final value, right? The difference between the two, the difference between initial value and the final value minus initial value, beta isko bolte hai change in x. So what is change in x? x1 minus x naught, that is called as change in x, right? जैसे एक example लेते हैं. Example. If I tell you that the initial value of x is 0, and the final value of x is 2. So beta, change in x kya ho gaya? 2 minus 0, that means 2. That is the change in x. Now, I am telling you that y is a function of x. So beta, jab x 0 raha hoga, to y, which is a function of x, usme maine x naught put kiya hoga. And when x would have been 2, so beta again, y is a function of x, na? So I would have put x1 here, right? So take an example. Suppose I tell you that my function is given to me as 5 plus x square. Beta, what is the value when you put x as 0? You will get 5 plus 0 square, which means 5. Beta, what is the value when you put x as 2? Then this will be 5 plus 2 square, 5 plus 4, that means 9. है ना? So what is the, ये तो y हो गया, right? This is y naught, this is y1. So what is the change in the value of the y? So y is changing, that means y1 minus y naught, that means 9 minus 5, that means 4. So this is 4. Is this clear? So the change in the value of y beta is once you have put x as x naught, samjho, hai na? Once you have put x as x1, you found out the difference between the two and you got the change in y. अच्छा, एक बात समझाओ मुझे जरा बेटा, अगर मैं बोलूं, suppose यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा हमें let's create this gap here. But if I am telling you that जो मेरा change in x है ना, my change in x, that is x1 minus x naught. So can I rewrite this and say that x1 is nothing but change in x plus x naught? कुछ गलत तो नहीं है बेटा. x naught is given to you as 0. x1 is given to you as 2. So change in x कितना है? How much is change in x? 2 minus 0, 2. So can I reverse this and can I say that if change in x is x1 minus x naught, I can take this here and say that x1 will be change in x plus x naught. Is this clear? But what is change in y? कैसे निकाला हमने change in y? First of all, in my function, I plugged the value x1. ये देखो, मैंने x1 की value डाली, मतलब 2. I plugged the value of x naught. See, मैंने x naught की value निकाली, which is f of 0. I found out the difference between the two. So I found out 9 minus 5. What did I get? I got the answer as 4. So beta, can I say that change in y is nothing but f of x1 minus f of x naught? I can say that. कोई गलत बात नहीं है. But I have gone ahead and I have written x1 as this. x1 को तो ऐसे लिख दिया ना. So which means this is nothing but f of change in x plus x naught minus f of x naught. Right? This is your change in y. Now, I am defining something, but this is called as difference equation. इसको हम बोलते हैं difference quotient. ठीक है जी. बेटा, what is difference quotient? The change in y per unit of change in x. This is called as your difference quotient. So when you find change in y upon change in x, इसको difference quotient बोलते हैं. What is change in y बेटा? When you have put the value of x1 minus you have put the value of x naught. जब हमने function के अंदर x को एक बारी 0 put किया और एक बारी 2 put किया, इनका जो difference है, बेटा, that is change in y. What is change in x? बेटा, change in x is x1 minus x naught, जो हमने इन दोनों का difference निकाला था. This one, x1 minus x naught. Can I also write this as f of instead of x1, can I write this? I can. So I will write this as x naught plus change in x minus f of x naught upon x1 minus x naught. Clear हुआ? बेटा this is called, देखो इसको बोलते हैं difference quotient, and this is also called the average rate of change of y. What is this called? The average rate of change of y. So please write this down with me. This is called average rate of change of y. This is what it is called. Is this clear? Okay, let's take some questions, huh? So question number 1. Beta, you are given y is a function of x and y is nothing but 3x square minus 4. Y is nothing but 3x square minus 4. And I'm asking you find the difference quotient in terms of x. आपको difference quotient निकालना है in terms of x. Okay बेटा, let's start. तो हम क्या कर सकते हैं? पहले हम x की जगह पे x naught put कर सकते हैं. Instead of x, I can put x naught. So what will I get? When I put the initial value of x, f of x naught, I will get 3x naught whole square minus 4. Instead of x, I have written x naught. Then, beta, instead of x, क्या लिखना है? Instead of x, I have to put x naught plus change in x. So x naught plus change in x. So bacha, this will be 3 x naught plus change in x whole square minus 4. Clear हुआ? अच्छा, ये वाला पार्ट देखो जरा बेटा. This is a plus b whole square. What is that? A square plus b square plus 2ab. So beta, this can be written as 3x naught square plus change in x square plus 2a b and minus 4 ऐसे. So I can rewrite this as 3x naught square plus 3 change in x square plus 6 x naught change in x minus 4. Clear? Okay. Now tell me something. What is the formula? हमने क्या formula निकाला अभी to find out the difference quotient? It is change in y upon change in x. है ना? That's the formula I have used. So beta, change in y was what? F of x naught plus change in x minus f of x naught. And beta, what will be change in x? Change in x. Simple है. Change in x का हमने already formula लिखा हुआ था, x1 minus x naught. So I can just keep this as change in x also. Beta, this part, ये वाला जो हमारा part है, इसी को open करके we have written this. तो लिख लो एक बार जरा. You will get 3x naught square plus 3 change in x square plus 6 x naught change in x minus 4 minus, better then put this part, sorry, f of x naught. क्या मिलेगा? Minus 3 x naught square plus 4. Minus करोगे तो ये आ जाएगा. Divided by change in x. Beta, this cancels out. This cancels out. So you will be left up with 6 x naught into change in x plus 3 change in x whole square upon change in x. This is your first question, first example of the book. Chapter 6 AC Chiang. This is your first example. ठीक है बेटा? तो अब क्या कर सकते हैं? इसको थोड़ा और ओपन कर लेते हैं. 6x naught change in x upon change in x plus 3 change in x whole square upon change in x. So beta, this will be 6x naught plus 3 change in x. Now, better write down the second part to this question. So now you're given that let x naught be 3 and let the change in x be 4. Find average rate of change of y. So beta, now I'm given these values, no? X not be given or change in x be given, so I can just plug this in. So I will get 6 into 3 plus 3 into 4. This will be 6, 12, 18 plus 12. This will be 30. So change, how do I interpret this? Change in y is 30 units. Is 30 units per unit. Change in x. Matlab, I am saying that change in y by change in x, this is coming as 30. So beta, when I will put change in x as 1, what will I get? This now. 30 into 1, that means 30. So whenever x will change by 1 unit, y will change by 30 units. Whenever x will change by 1 unit, y will change by 30 units. Clear ho gaya ye? Absolutely clear ho gaya hame. Are we clear with this definition? Yes. है ना? We have understood what this means. Okay. अब बेटा बहुत important concept हम यहाँ से जा रहे हैं, and this is called the derivative. So please write down the derivative. Now, beta, we have found out change in y by change in x. ये तो हमने निकाल लिया. We have already found this out. When from this change in y by change in x, हम अपने change को बहुत small कर देते हैं. We make the change very small. Then what we get, beta, that is called the derivative. So when I say that I am making the change very small, what does that mean? It means that I am putting limit change in x tends to 0. पहले हम example में समझेंगे, then we will write the definition. अच्छा यहाँ देखो, come back here to this question, huh? So beta, when I found out change in y by change in x, what is the term I got? क्या मेरे को मिला? I got 6x naught plus 3 change in x. Now I am saying that my x is changing by very small amount. मेरा x बहुत कम amount से change हो रहा है. So I will go ahead and I will put limit change in x tends to 0. कुछ नहीं करना है इस पूरी केस में. You just have to put this equal to 0. So when you will put limit change in x tends to 0, inside this function 6x naught plus 3 change in x, what will you get, beta? This will be, सिर्फ यही तो 0 आ रहा है, so I just have to plug 0 here ना, तो put कर दो. This will be 6x naught plus 3 into 0. This will be 6x naught. This means that this is the derivative of this function. जो भी हमने function लिखा था, इसका derivative, बेटा, that is 6x naught. Are we clear? बहुत simple concept है. What is derivative? कुछ भी नहीं है. Derivative का मतलब होता है derived function, the function that you are deriving, है ना? तो बेटा जो initial function होता है, whatever the initial function you have, this is called as the primitive function. What is this called? This is called as the primitive function. And derivative is what is derived from this function, है ना? So derivative अपने आप में उसमें word है that it is being derived from this function. Absolutely understood हो गया. I hope this is clear to you. तो बेटा जब हमने change in y by change in x निकाला था, when we found out this, इसका हमने क्या term बोला? We called this as the average rate of change. Similarly, when we put limit x tends to 0, जब हम limit x को 0 कर देते हैं ना, the answer that we get, that is called as beta instantaneous rate of change. What is that called? इंस्टेंटेनियस रेट ऑफ चेंज, और इसी को हम एफ डैश एक्स भी बोलते हैं। जो हम डिफरेंशिएशन करते हैं वो कुछ नहीं है बट दैट इज माय इंस्टेंटेनियस rate of change, and I can write that as change in y by change in x, but I will put that change in x to 0. उसकी जो हम वैल्यू यहाँ पे निकाल रहे हैं change in x की, वो हम 0 कर देंगे। I hope this is clear to you. We have done it in multiple steps. Okay, beta. Now I will take one exercise question. So again, AC Chiang, chapter 6, exercise 6.2, question 1. Beta, question likho. The function is given to you as y is equal to 4x square plus 9. First, it says find difference quotient as a function of x and change in x. ठीक है बेटा? Part B, find derivative dy by dx. Part C, find f dash 3 and f dash 4. ठीक है? Is this clear, beta? Let's start. So first of all, I want to find the difference quotient. But how did I explain that? Everybody will do it with me. How did I explain it? It is change in y by change in x. है ना? What is change in y? Value of the function at new value of x, value of the function at old value of x upon change in x. But the value of function at new value क्या है? कुछ नहीं ma'am, we know this. This is f of x naught plus change in x minus f of x naught upon change in x. तो एक बारी फंक्शन के अंदर हमें x naught plus change in x पुट करना है। उसी फंक्शन में we have to put x naught and then we have to find the difference. कर दो जल्दी से। So बेटा y is 4x square plus 9 ना? So function का value at x naught plus change in x क्या हो जाएगा? 4. Instead of x, you will put x naught plus change in x whole square plus 9. So beta, you will have 4. Use a plus b whole square formula here. What will you get? A square plus b square plus 2ab plus. Clear? So beta, we will have f of x naught square plus this plus 8 x naught change in x plus 9. I hope ये एकदम clear हो गया. This is very very easy. ठीक है बेटा? अब हम function में ही we will go ahead and put only x naught. So if in the function instead of x I am writing x naught, but what will I get? I will get 4 x naught whole square plus 9. Okay beta? Now find out f of x naught plus change in x minus f of x naught. इन दोनों का डिफरेंस निकाल दो जरा. What will you get? 4 x naught square plus 4 change in x whole square plus 8 x naught change in x plus 9 minus 4 x naught square minus 9. बेटा what cancels out? मैम ये तो कैंसिल हो गया, ये भी कैंसिल हो गया, तो मैम I am only left up with this. ओके बेटा, ये हमारा हो गया. दिस इज f of this. अब क्या निकालने को बोला है? डिफरेंस क्वोशिएंट बोला है ना. सो व्हाट इज डिफरेंस क्वोशिएंट? मैम वेरी सिंपल, change in y by change in x. Change in y I have found out as this, ma'am. 4 change in x whole square plus 8 x naught change in x divided by change in x. बस just solve that. क्या मिल जाएगा बेटा? 4 change in x whole square upon change in x plus 8 x naught change in x upon change in x. So beta, this will cancel out. 4 change in x, this will cancel out. 8x. This is the first part to this question, है ना? So we have been able to find out the difference quotient. ये निकल गया. Okay बेटा, next part देखो. Next says find the derivative. क्या बोला मैंने? Derivative में क्या करना है? Second part. You just have to put limit change in x tends to 0. So instead of this, just plug that to 0. So beta, what will you get? 4 into 0 plus 8x naught. So your differentiation will be 8x naught. यही तो डेरिवेटिव होता है. कैसे निकालते आप डेरिवेटिव? अगर मैं आपको बोलती बेटा, if this was your function, है ना, and you were asked to find out dy by dx, so power comes down and power reduces by 1. So beta, derivative 8x ही तो था, and that is exactly the derivative you're getting here, 8x naught, right? Third and last part beta, it says find the derivative when the value of x is 3. तो बेटा x की जगह पे 3 put कर दो ना, it will be 24. Find the value of derivative when x is 4. x की जगह पे 4 put कर दो. So this is 32. This is how you can go ahead and you can find the derivatives. Is this clear? Give me a yes if it is clear to you. Everybody, difference quotient एकदम clear होना चाहिए. Derivative एकदम clear होना चाहिए. Okay, so beta, now question that you have to do as homework. You're given the function 5x square minus 4x. Beta, find out difference quotient as a function of x and change in x. Beta, second part, find dy by dx. Beta, third part, find f-2 and f-3. Please do this as your homework. Okay? I hope this is clear to you how we find the derivative quotient. Okay, so we will go ahead and stop here for today. In the next class, beta, I will talk about the slope and how to use limits in the slope. Okay, we will try and we will finish chapter 6 in maybe 2 to 3 classes. Okay, but in the next class, we will talk about slope and limit. Okay, thank you, beta. Best of luck. Thank you.